Morning. It's May 16th, and I'm going to plant these Georgia Jet sweet potatoes into our sweet potato compost pile. What we have is a layer of grass and a layer of leaves. These bags around here are bags of leaves from last year's when the leaves fell off the tree, and we bag them up and get them from our friends and our neighbors. And I'll do a layer of leaves and a layer of grass clippings and a layer of leaves and a layer of grass clippings. Throw a little bit of coffee grinds in there, a few egg shells. Try to be as organic as we can. There's a little bit of soil in there, but not much. Most of the soil is what's in these sweet potato plants in the cups. I have other videos of our sweet potatoes, how I do sweet potato slips, and we grow the sweet potatoes on their side in a little bitty aluminum pan in some potting mix, and they'll sprout up sweet potatoes right off the potato. And then you can see that they'll root. We stick them in water. Once we break them off of the sweet potato in the soil mix, we'll put them in some water and let them root. And then what we'll do is, to get them acclimated to the planter bed here, we'll put them in a little cup, little 8-ounce cup. And then in these 8-ounce cups with some soil, you can see that they start rooting out, kind of get them used to the soil. Not that there's much soil in here, but it's mostly a compost pile. And it rained the last couple of days, so it's cooled down a little bit. The compost pile has been breaking down since last fall, and I think it's broken down enough that we can go ahead and plant in. And we'll plant them along the side here and try to just fill all of this in with these sweet potatoes. And all I do is just make a hole about deep enough for the plant. They're probably 12 to 16 inches apart. And I'll just set that thing down in there. And just pull that grass back. And there you go. And we'll just go through here and pop these out of the cups. You can see they went from rooting in the water, well, from sprouting on the potato to breaking them off and putting them in the water. And now they went into a cup with just some old potting mix. I think I used the Pro Mix. It's what I use for about everything. And you can see the roots. So what we'll do is just take this little spade and get a little spot here. That's probably good. Pull them out of there. And just set them in there. And I try to push that grass back off of them because I mowed about 3 or 4 days ago and put that little layer of grass on top. You don't want to mow your lawn and then throw your green grass clippings right around your plants. You can do that, but just make sure they don't touch the plants, because what will happen is it'll burn your plants. I've actually cooked plants and killed them off dead to the ground with fresh grass. So this has been put on here about probably 3 days ago, and it's rained for the past 2 days. And we don't fertilize our lawn, and we don't use pesticides in our lawn. It is what it is. We mow, we have a bagger on our mower, and then we use that in our compost pile. And that gives you your greens in your compost pile, and your leaves gives you the brown, the carbon. So you get a good mixture of everything. And in between there, I'll throw a handful of this old compost. We do this every year right here. And when we dig these up potatoes at the end of the year, what we do is just roll these bags back, you can see right here on these leaves, it's just full of these earthworms. It's just full of these worms, and that's good. And usually in the fall, around October, November, depending on how cold it gets and when they die back, we'll just pull these back and we'll have sweet potatoes. We've had them last year where you just pull the bag back and the sweet potatoes were right there. So, let's see. We'll do another. You just pull that out of there. You can see how nice and rooted these are. Stick them right in there. And I'll just pull that grass back. It's very easy and simple to do. Now this one with the long vines, I try to turn the vines in, but eventually the vines it'll engulf this whole area. And I'll have to get out here with my pruning shears and actually cut the ends off because I don't want it growing over through the fence on the neighbor's property. And I don't want it overrunning my potato box, which it will do. It does it every year. But we just cut the tips off, and we have some Asian friends in the neighborhood, and they eat these potato leaves, sweet potato leaves, because they're edible and they're very good. So I bag up all of our clippings, and when she walks, she's an elderly Asian lady. Every year we give her bags of our clippings so she can get some potato leaves, sweet potato leaves off of our garden, because she said she's too elderly to grow a garden on her own. So we try to help her out, help our neighbors out. That's what it's all about. That's why I make these videos. We're on a small city lot, and you too can do this. It's very easy. You can go to the market, buy you a sweet potato, lay it on its side in a pan of dirt, potting mix, potting soil. You can even use this kind of soil, but I don't recommend it. I recommend bag soil because it doesn't have a lot of eggs, bug eggs and spiders and things like that. So if you get a bag soil, potting mix is only like $5 for a bag. Get you a dollar store aluminum pan, fill it full of soil, lay your sweet potato on its side, and just put it in a window or under a light, and it'll eventually sprout. You snap those off, you put them in some water. That's been in this cup. These sprouts have been in this cup of water for probably 2 weeks, and you can see how nice that looks. That's a nice plant to plant. I just hadn't made it to getting it in the soil yet because I've been busy with everything else. But I'll try to fit these in there too. I try to leave them about a foot apart, 15 inches, something like that. You know, with the way things are going and our food shortages, I make these videos so the average person who works a 9-to-5 job can still come home, and in a small space on their property, you can do these in a bucket, you can do these in a planter pot. I've actually grown these in a pot this size right here and made sweet potatoes. This is a 2-gallon pot. So you can do these sweet potatoes, you can do regular potatoes. We do the videos to make everyone aware of what's going on. I'm sure you already are, and to help teach people that, you know, they can be a little more self-sufficient. And you know, we nowadays we can't even count on the market having the shelves stocked. So this is just little helpful videos we do to try to show you how easy it is to be a little more self-sufficient in your life and not rely so much on the big box stores for everything. And if you're looking for a hobby, gardening's one of the cheapest hobbies you can have. A pack of seeds is $3. A sweet potato at the store's $2. Now, you know, a bag of soil is $5. And all of this is as organic as my family's going to get. When you go to the store and you try to buy organic produce, you'll get sticker shocked. So what we'll do is try to get in here close as possible. Now I may need to step up in there to get those ones in the middle, but and you can see the roots. Just shove it down in there, pull the grass back a little bit. Pull that back. We'll do just 3 more. Bag a little bit if I can get up in here. Basically, all I'm doing is sitting it right on the top layer of leaves. You can see the leaves right underneath the grass. There's a little bit of soil in there, but not much. See the roots coming off of that thing. We'll do this last one. I can get in there to it. You see that? I don't know if it's picking it up. Starting to get root bound in these little cups. I'll just mash that down in there, pull that grass away from it, and there you go. 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And in less than 10 minutes, we just planted 13 sweet potato plants. We're expecting sun today, but it's Monday. Wednesday, we're supposed to get a lot more rain, which is good for this. As I stick my hand down in the compost pile, it is still a little warm, and it may even stunt these back a little bit. The past 2 years, I've had them where they stunted back, and then we get a few more rains, and then they just take off. I haven't killed them yet planting them like this, and I used to plant them in the soil right behind the camera in a raised bed in just soil, and we got potatoes, but this by far is easier. The potatoes look better, the yield is larger, and the potatoes are bigger because it's not a lot of compacted soil restricting the root growth of that sweet potato. So what we'll do is keep you updated and on what these things look like, and I imagine in about 3 or 4 weeks we'll start seeing some growth. We may even see them start looking like they may not even make it. That's what they did the past 2 years, but then they take off, and it'll encompass this whole area with sweet potato vines, enough to the point of we have to cut them back. And that's how we do our sweet potatoes every year. And it works out. If you got some bag leaves, stack some bags up, make you a little compost pile. I just make a circle of bag leaves and start dumping the leaves inside, layer of leaves, layer of grass, some sticks, some twigs, a little bit of soil, handfuls of soil in between it, and there you go. It's as cheap as you can get. Lord willing, we'll get some potatoes out of this. Thanks for watching.